Imagine you walked into a store to buy a computer operating system, and the person behind the counter said, "It's free." You'd probably laugh or walk away because in America, we've been taught that nothing worth having is ever free. But what if that person smiled and said, "No, seriously, it's free. It always has been. And millions of people all over the world built it together for you because they believed that technology should belong to everyone." That's not a fairy tale. That's Ubuntu. And today I'm going to tell you the story of how a word from an African philosophy became one of the most powerful operating systems on the planet. Let's go back, way back. It's 1991. A 21-year-old Finnish computer science student named Linus Torvalds is sitting at his desk in Helsinki. He's frustrated. The operating systems available to him are either too expensive or too locked down. So he does something almost absurd. He decides to write his own from scratch. He posts a message to a mailing list that begins with words now legendary in computing history. "I'm doing a free operating system. Just a hobby. Won't be big and professional like GNU." Famous last words. That hobby became the Linux kernel, the beating heart underneath millions of servers, smartphones, and yes, the operating system I'm about to tell you about. But Linux alone wasn't enough. It was like having an engine without a car. Someone had to build the whole experience around it. Something a regular person could actually use. Enter Mark Shuttleworth, South African entrepreneur, and the first African in space. In 2004, Shuttleworth founded a company called Canonical, and he had a vision: take the power of Linux and wrap it in something beautiful, accessible, and completely free. He named it Ubuntu, after the Nguni Bantu phrase, Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. It means, I am because we are. Think about that for a second. In a world of billion-dollar software companies protecting their code behind walls of patents and licenses, someone built an entire operating system on the philosophy that we are stronger together. It's the first version of Ubuntu, codenamed Warty Warthog, launched in October 2004. Shuttleworth didn't just release it online. He mailed physical CDs for free and to anyone in the world who requested one. He sent millions of them to students in Nigeria, to schools in Bolivia, to developers in South Korea. No strings attached. And people went crazy for it. Here was an operating system that was fast. It was clean. It was secure, and it cost absolutely nothing. For millions of people who could never afford Windows or Mac, Ubuntu was a revelation. But here's what makes Ubuntu's story truly remarkable. It wasn't just charity, it was engineering. Real, serious, world-class engineering. Ubuntu is built on something called the open source model. That means the code is public, anyone can read it, improve it, or build on top of it. Thousands of volunteers around the world, developers, designers, translators, contribute to Ubuntu every single day. Not because they're paid, but because they believe in it. This is where the philosophy becomes real. I am because we are. The software is literally made stronger by the community around it. Every bug reported, every feature added, every translation completed, it's all part of the same living, breathing project. And the results, let me give you some numbers. As of today, Ubuntu runs on more than 55 million computers worldwide. It powers a majority of the world's public cloud workloads. When Amazon Web Services runs your favorite app, there's a very good chance Ubuntu is underneath it. When NASA processes satellite data, when CERN smashes particles, when your bank runs its infrastructure, Ubuntu is often part of the story. In fact, Ubuntu is the #1 operating system in the cloud, more than Windows Server, more than any competitor. The hobby project that became the heart of the modern internet runs on the operating system that was born from an African proverb. Now, you might be wondering, What does using Ubuntu actually feel like? Picture this. You sit down at your computer. The desktop loads in seconds. It's clean. There are no pop-ups asking you to activate your license. No ads, no bloat. Just a working computer ready to go. Now, you open a browser, a text editor, a coding terminal. Everything is there, already installed, completely free. And when you need new software, you open what's called a package manager. Think of it as an app store, but everything is free and verified. You type one line into the terminal, hit enter, and your software is installed. No ads, no upsells, no subscription model, just software doing what software is supposed to do. Ubuntu also releases a new version every 6 months like clockwork, and every April and every October, the community ships a new version. And every 2 years, they release a long-term support version, maintained with security updates for 5 full years for free. Compare that to paying hundreds of dollars for a Windows upgrade. Now, I want to address something. Because if you're American, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great for poor countries or developers, but is it actually for me? Fair question. And the answer is increasingly yes. So more and more everyday Americans are switching to Ubuntu. Freelancers, students, privacy-conscious professionals, people who are simply tired of being tracked, updated without permission, and charged for features they already owned. Ubuntu respects your machine. It doesn't collect your data. It doesn't install ads. It doesn't slow down after 2 years to push you toward a new purchase. You own your computer again. So let me bring this full circle. Linus Torvalds built an engine because he was frustrated. Mark Shuttleworth wrapped it in something beautiful because he believed technology should be free. And thousands of contributors around the world keep building on it every single day because of a 4-syllable word from a language most Americans have never heard. Ubuntu. I am because we are. In Silicon Valley, we talk a lot about disruption, fear about moving fast and breaking things, about billion-dollar valuations. But Ubuntu is something different. It's a reminder that the most powerful technology in the world wasn't built by a company trying to extract value from you. It was built by a community trying to give it back. If you've never tried Ubuntu, I encourage you, download it, burn it to a USB drive. Boot it up on your old laptop, give it an afternoon. You might be surprised to discover that the future of computing doesn't look like a subscription fee or a walled garden. It looks like a community. It looks like generosity. It looks like we are stronger together. That's Ubuntu. And that's the story of how an idea changed the world. Thanks for listening.